What's going on, Jeromes? So the Minnesota Vikings have had some very good wide receiver threes over the last couple of years. Wide receiver 3, Adam Thielen in 2022. Wide receiver 3, KJ Osborne in 2023. But now who's going to take over that role? After you have Justin freaking Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison. Like, who else is going to fill that power vacuum as the tertiary receiving option, especially with TJ Hawkinson up on blocks? Long story longer, The Athletic put out a what should each NFL team be worried about entering camp? Pick one concern for all 32 teams. Now, for the Vikings, Alec Lewis of The Athletic listed wide receiver 3. Now, to a degree, I understand it. Like, you want to see what shakes out there, but also I'm not too worried about it. But this is what Alec wrote. Is it Brandon Powell? Can Jalen Speedy Naylor stay healthy enough to play the role? If it's not those two guys, then who? The Rooster hole surfaced once KJ Osborne signed with the Patriots free agency. The Viking staff loves Powell, which is understandable. He's reliable, tough, and shifty, but he is also a 5'8", 181-pounder who does not do good at pushing the tush. And the team's punt and kick returner. Well, not kick returner. If he's wide receiver 3, who will return kicks? Trent Sherfield's another option, but he didn't blow the staff away in OTAs. There are some free agent options like Hunter Renfrow, but Renfrow isn't much of a blocker. Does Coach Kevin O'Connell want a receiver who can help in the run game? If so, that might be hard to find at this point. And the whole thing about it is, like, yes, it's important, but also it's not that important, if that makes sense. Now, Lewis brings up a great point about the run game, where the Vikings do want to run the ball more in 2024. And being able to be a solid pass blocker downfield is going to be important for the third wide receiver. But in terms of just who's going to be the third pass catcher, I feel like it will take a village. So obviously you got Jefferson, you got Addison, you got Hawkinson when he gets back. Now that's the big thing now, where it isn't necessarily who's wide receiver 3 when you have a guy like TJ Hawkinson, who's one of the best tight ends in the game, especially best receiving tight ends, right? So yes, Powell will be sprinkled in there. Yes, N'Keal Harry's listed twice. Jalen Speedy Naylor will be in that mix. Sherfield could get in there too. Tristan Jackson, Lucky Jackson, etc. And filling in for Hawkinson, I mean, Tanyan and Johnny Munt are certainly up for the challenge. I mean, Munt has been with the staff since the Rams days. Tanyan's had a double-digit touchdown season throughout his career, so he could be good to go there. And also, I mean, don't discount the fact that Aaron Jones and Ty Chandler are very adept receivers out of the backfield. And if the Vikings want to play a little bit heavier personnel to start the season, waiting on Hawkinson to get back, a lot more 2 running back sets with C.J. Ham. C.J. Ham's a very adept receiving fullback as well. So it isn't necessarily who needs to step up and the Vikings go 3 deep, because I think the Vikings will have a reduction in 11 personnel this season. So 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers. I think that with Darnold and McCarthy, I think the Vikings will be playing a little bit heavier, a little bit more play action dependent, and taking shots vertically. But in terms of who that wide receiver 3 is, I don't think you necessarily need to have just one guy. Like I said, I think it will be a composition of the aggregate. I think it will be a village of Powell and Naylor and Sherfield and Aaron Jones and Johnny Munt, Robert Tanyan, or hell, even when Hawkinson gets back. What if Robert Tanyan finds himself a groove and makes himself an asset as a tertiary receiver? I think that is certainly possible. But at the end of the day, how much work is there going to be on a team that's going to run the ball more once you get past the top 2 of Jefferson and Addison, and also throw in 3 of a kind once Hawkinson gets back? So it really is. Again, I get the concern, except frankly, I think the Vikings have more pressing concerns elsewhere, like who's going to be the other starting corner, who's going to win the guard spots. So the whole wide receiver 3 thing is someone like a group of guys will fill in that role. That your thoughts are thoughts. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But next time, Skull Production Value.